What's good, everyone? We have another reaction for today. As you guys can see by the thumbnail and the title, we all know why we're here. Marvel's What If Season 2 has arrived. Let's jump right into the trailer. Then we'll do like a breakdown and share some thoughts because I really want to talk about the MCU and what's going on over there. But let's start with the trailer. Let's get into it.
This kid puts on quite a show.
I have eyes on the target. He does not look all that
Ooh, a
threatening.
new voice.
Looks can be deceiving, Your Highness.
Are you sure you do not want any backup?
Nah, I'm great with kids.
Oh no, that's T'Challa's father. Okay,
You
I
thought
think
the story was over,
based off of Hank Pym's age.
but it was only just beginning.
Okay, Helena.
I don't do sequels normally, but things have gotten a little twisted in the multiverse.
Watch her. Okay, is that Tony? What's up, Tony? Welcome back. We missed you.
Who is this handsome dog?
Oh gosh. Right in time for Christmas? Okay. Odin. Woo. Tap in the building. Look at Rocket.
I've been looking for you for a long time.
Who is
Be
this?
careful. I don't think I can bear to narrate what
Was that
might happen
Killmonger?
next.
Hold up! Hold up! Hold up! Hold up!
We got a code red. The Avengers Tower's been overtaken.
On Christmas? What is this, Con Air?
Darcy.
No, wait, Under Siege? No. Oh, that's not it.
Hey, John McClane, focus.
Okay, and we're getting an episode a day, so we don't have to wait a week at a time for a new episode. That is good to know. Okay. Wow. So a lot going on here, a lot to unpack. No surprise with Marvel's What If, though. If you guys saw season 1, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. And I'm gonna be I gotta stay in one place for this reaction here, right? Because not only do I want to talk about everything that's going on in this new trailer and the expectations for the upcoming season and some things that I like, some things that I'm kind of like, all right, what was that? But I also do want to have a conversation about the MCU and my thoughts on it. I don't want to, rerun the same conversation over and over again. So I'll save that for the end. As far as this trailer, the first thing that comes to mind, thank you, Disney. Thank you. You didn't give us the whole thing on one day, but thank you for at least releasing the episodes daily and not weekly like you do with all the other MCU TV shows, which once again, we'll talk about those later. Let's just give What If its moment. Based off what I'm seeing in this trailer so far, this is kind of giving Marvel's Generations. Like we see Hank Pym in there. We see Odin in there. We see Helena. We see, obviously, Captain America. But there's also a prior generation of what could be like Avengers. So I forget his name, but this looks like T'Challa's father. I know there's two black guys, and instantly I'm like, who's this other guy? We have Pym. I don't know. It's just, I'm not going to pretend to sit here and act like I know every Marvel character's name, but you guys get what I'm saying. We're getting a prior generation of Marvel characters thrown into some what if scenarios that we've seen in the MCU so far. At least that's the vibe that I'm getting, with some beautiful visuals.
Want any backup?
What I'm interested to know,
great with
here's an
kids.
example of that right here. Like, that's dope. What I am interested to know is this going to be, well, obviously we know it's in the multiverse, but is this going to be like a timeline? Because the other What If season, it kind of felt a little sporadic. Every episode felt like it was its own, and then towards the end it showed us like, yeah, these were all individual universes, but we're going to tie the whole multiverse thing together with the Watcher and bring them all into one universe, which once again, I won't spoil it, but go back and check that out. We have Sorcerer Supreme in here as well. Looks like he's making a return. We saw him in the Multiverse of Madness as well. So there's a lot going on in this trailer. This one's really difficult to break down frame by frame. There are some exciting sequences in here. We got Gamora, we got Tony Stark, Valkyrie. I mean, there is just a lot going on in this trailer.
This handsome
Anytime you get
dog.
to see Grandmaster, that's a good time. We get a great shot right here of Odin, which I think Odin is one of those characters that I would have loved to see a little bit more in the first few phases. We got an older version of Odin, which eventually he moved on. Helen made a return. I would love to see a little bit more lore with the Odin, because Odin is like the strongest character in the MCU, or if not one of the strongest characters, and his disappearance really, not only did it allow Ragnarok to happen, but it also opened up a window for Thanos as well. You know, a Thanos versus Odin fight would be Prime Odin versus Thanos. Shoot, give him the Infinity stones. That would be a dope fight, because I mean, Thor almost killed Thanos and he had all the stones, so who's to say Odin couldn't give him a run for his money? So here it is. And then obviously this is probably like the biggest thing that everybody loves to see. Like, let's face it, Iron Man was like the godfather of those first four phases. So to get to see him again, not sure if Robert Downey is voicing him, but whether or not he is, I like the fact that What If can pretty much do whatever it wants to do. And that kind of leads into my conversation about the MCU. Once again, I'm not going to rerun the whole conversation of this, how people feel about this phase. I don't want to completely talk about it, but this last phase has been lacking, and I think it has some good pieces to it that could make it better. I mean, Loki season 1 was great. I'm partway through season 2 now. It was a little disappointing hearing that there are no plans to further that show. So even though I'm partway through season 2, I'm kind of like, you know, why should I finish this? Because so far, with the exception of the end of season 1 of Loki, in my opinion, and of course WandaVision, none of these Marvel shows have really tied into the movie timeline. It feels so chaotic, and the movies, and maybe it's being done intentionally, but even the movies themselves have been very lackluster. You get minimal character development, big action scene, villain loses, we forget who the villain is, and we move on. And then the Quantumania was supposed to be the one that introduced King the Conqueror, and it was probably just it was probably the worst. I don't know. I don't even know, because and don't get me wrong, you guys. All my reviews my reactions so far have been very nice. I can be harsh on shows. I'm not saying that you shouldn't like. I'm not one of those people that are going to critique something and that means you aren't supposed to enjoy it. You might have loved Quantumania. You might have loved Multiverse of Madness. I thought they were below par for what I expect in a Marvel movie. With that being said, what are we going to do to improve the MCU? Me personally, I feel like What If is the perfect reset button. Sorcerer Supreme, I think that's his name. Let me double check. Sorry, not Sorcerer Supreme. Not Sorcerer Supreme. Strange Supreme. It seems like, because we've seen him in Multiverse of Madness, it seems like maybe he's going to play a big part in tying What If into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Watcher as well. maybe we can get a reset button like they did with Spider-Man. But honestly, outside of that, I don't really know about this phase in MCU. And I'm sorry if my thoughts are kind of all over the place. I don't script these reactions. I just hit play and I just kind of share my thoughts going into it. So maybe I could have articulated it better. But the thing with Marvel reactions is we're going to get a new Marvel product probably every month. If it's not a movie, it's a new TV show. So we're going to have more of these reactions. And maybe in future ones, I can share my thoughts a little bit more clearly. But I guess my overall thoughts are that Marvel post Endgame has been very underwhelming. It's been very chaotic. I think there is too much content. As cool as it is that we have a variety of content, I feel like the writing is very watered down and it's not the same product that we've gotten so far. And hopefully there can be meaningful connections between these characters like we got in the original few phases, and not just let's introduce a whole bunch of characters and eventually throw them on one screen together and hope that we get the same reaction we did when Captain America picked up Thor's hammer, which is what it feels like is happening. With the exception of whatever Jonathan Majors has going on in his personal life, I thought his introduction as Kang the Conqueror was great in Loki season 1. I wouldn't mind even seeing him pop up in What If, seeing as Kang has pretty much conquered the multiverse in his own way. And now that the main Kang that we saw at the end of Loki 1 is wherever he is now, it would be nice to see how Kang can play into these different Marvel shows if he truly is the end game or the end boss. But I don't know. So far, a lot of these Marvel movies have been forgettable. And even the ones that I did kind of enjoy, like Black Panther and Spider-Man, I just don't really see how they tie in. Unfortunately, Black Panther was kind of had to take a step because of the passing of Chadwick Boseman. But even so, I don't really know what that means for that series. Is Shuri the next Black Panther? Is the teaser that they did at the end with T'Challa's son, is he the next Black? Like, what's happening next? And I think there is no direction. And I think if they consolidate it, it would help a lot. So I went on a complete rant, and I think it kind of took away from this reaction. I'm sorry if it did, because I really do enjoy the What If series, but it kind of has me asking myself, well, what if phase 4 was actually good? I guess that's what I'm saying right now. And this might be the only silver lining, and that and Loki. And once again, I'm not saying that you guys can't enjoy. I'm not saying some of these shows weren't good. I'm just saying, in my opinion, they are below par for what we got, at least at a consistent level through the first 3 phases. First 3 phases, there were some bad movies in there. There were some terrible movies. But overall, the consistency and the payoff was rewarding, even to the point where you go back and you watch some of those bad movies. So far, all of this phase just feels meaningless. And What If is probably the most fun that I have watching Marvel since Endgame. It's probably the most fun that I've had watching this show. So hopefully season 2 can deliver. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Are you looking forward to Marvel Studios' What If, the MCU's What If, whatever it is I'm trying to say? Are you guys looking forward to it? What are your thoughts on the MCU? Do you think it can be saved? Do you think it's good? Have you been enjoying the MCU TV shows and movies so far? Do you think it can, reach the same climax that we got with Endgame? Are we just waiting for the first Avengers movie? Is that what's gonna save it? What are your thoughts on the MCU and the other shows that they got going as well? Me personally, I'm looking forward to What If, and hopefully this one delivers like the first season did. So thank you guys again for watching. If you enjoyed the video, definitely like and subscribe. I'm gonna keep these reaction videos coming. I'm just gonna put out as many as I can whenever I'm live streaming over on Twitch. So if you'd like to react live with me, feel free to jump into the chat. But until the next video, guys.